So today I'll be talking on a topic, the science-backed blueprint to crush procrastination and finally build your online business. So basically, a way for you to take action with some little tricks and not just philosophy or motivation. This is actually backed science trick to actually make you take action. So things I want to say is this. Currently I've broken the structure into three processes. The first process is the why. Why do we procrastinate? Now, it's not because of laziness. No, it's not because you're lazy. That's why you procrastinate. Then we have the triggers. Things that trigger it scientifically on your brain, etc. And finally, we have the cure, so that you can start executing on your ideas instead of just idealizing and getting stuck in analysis paralysis. So that's it. So let's circle back a bit. Now I want to go back to the why. Now, why you procrastinate? Why does this happen? You see, there are three reasons I can give you why that happened. Number one is your brain. Now, there's a part of the brain called the amygdala. So I call this problem the amygdala hijack. So basically, this part of your brain it has a primary role in processing of memory, your decision making, and emotional responses, including fear, anxiety, and aggression. So basically, this part of your brain is your survival mode. So it is your response, is how your brain responds to things, to tasks. So, and there is an uncomfortable truth you need to know. You see, if you do not force yourself to do something, there's no way you can actually do the thing. If you are actually waiting for some sort of motivation and whatsoever, you can't. And something else, if you are trying to build something new, maybe an online business, to do something online, create an online personnel or whatsoever, you see, your brain uses this amygdala hijack. It goes into survival mode in the sense that you have the fear to fail, or you just don't want to try it out because it is totally new. So that's basically your brain trying to put you on a safer side. But the truth is that you will not learn anything if you do not attempt or execute. So, but when something is new, your brain is actually scared of it. So your brain treats risk like a lion. Take for example, starting a business is like same threat level as a predator for your brain. So when the threat level of a predator to an antelope in the forest. So taking, for example, you want to start something new, is that same threat level. Your brain is scared of it, mostly when you have never done it before and you see that there's a lot of competition in it. So your brain is scared of it. Then we have number two right here, dopamine misfire. Now, what's dopamine misfire? You see, dopamine misfire is instant gratifications versus long-term rewards. Now, you look for the quickest thing that make your brain feels good. Take for example, your brain craves quick wins: scrolling, Netflix, TikTok reels, Instagram reels, Facebook reels, snacks, whatsoever that is short that will quickly entertain you, make you feel good, make you laugh. That's the things that your brain is comfortable with. Now, take for example, building a business. It looks delayed. It looks as if it's going to take a lot of time, and therefore it is boring to your brain. So even without you even thinking about it, your brain has already processed it and set your mind that, man, this is going to be boring. This is going to take a lot of time. I don't want to do it. And the true fact is that even our billionaire up there, it's the boring stuff that actually make people rich. If they were all doing the same fun stuff everyone is doing, they wouldn't have gotten there. There were boring times where they were not scrolling, were not watching reels all day long. They actually executed and they actually take action. So how do we fix this issue? The dopamine misfire. What we do is this is very simple. We hack the dopamine system. Yes, we hack the dopamine system. And it is a very simple process. It is not one complex process. All you have to do is that you break tasks into 5 minutes. For example, if you have a big task to do ahead of you, instead of you taking the task on and feeling like, okay, it's time to do this, you can't. Some people can, but I think the average person can't. Your brain might scare you, or like, this task is too big, this task is too hard and all that. So the best thing you have to do is split that task into smaller micro tasks that you know that you can accomplish within the next 5 minutes. Most times when you start a task and you set a timer for about 5 minutes and you focus on that task, you will see that you might even spend up to 30 minutes or even 1 hour, because you have actually tricked your brain into the focus zone. So this is one way to fix the problem. Moving on, the third one, we have what we call confused phase, decision fatigue. Now, this is what happened there. Your brain actually hates decision. That's why you overthink instead of act. Now let me break this down for you. You see, if you were to take a quick decision like something right now, you would actually have to analyze both the good and bad outcome of that decision. Think, okay, if I start this right now, if I start this online business, is this going to be successful? I don't have no engagement, I don't have nobody, you get, who's going to follow me, who's going to like my content. There are many things you can think of. And on the other side, if you were to think of an advantage, you'll be like, all right, if I start this and I grow this over time, this can become beneficial and all that. But the whole point of this is not thinking at all. If you know this is what you want to do and you have a goal that resonates with it and will make you achieve that goal, you don't. Alright, let's move on to the triggers. So before moving on, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you a personal story. You see, last year I lost $2,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Converted in my currency, that's millions. You see, because I kept putting off launching my course. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next tomorrow. It turned to 6 months of excuses. And for that course, if I had done it, there were people available that wanted to pay for it. But I felt like since it's the internet and I'm good at it, I can actually do it anytime. You understand? So, because I did not even create the course, I had a client, somebody who needed that stuff, but I could not provide it. And yeah, I lost it because I was procrastinating. I did not create it. Now, I wouldn't say it's because of time, or I'll say I'm lazy. That's why I said procrastination is not laziness. It's your brain tricking you into staying safe. It's like it's putting you on this safe zone and man, don't indulge in that now. Don't indulge in that now. Have you not noticed that there are things that, or habits that you are used to in your life that you do not procrastinate? When that time comes, you just do it. You just do those stuff because they're already used to you. So it's not about being lazy. So a way to break procrastination, people will say create a to-do list. That's the most popular. Write the things you want to do, create a schedule. That way you'll be able to follow with your task. Yes, that it is, but let's be transparent here. Most people don't actually follow their task. So it's your brain staying safe. But either way, today we are going to be rewiring that. I use these neuroscience-backed tricks, to go from I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next, to just do it right now. Usually, the most popular solution people will tell you create a to-do list. A list of the tasks you want to do for that day, schedule it and all that. Now, why that is good? Not many of us can actually keep up with that list. Maybe you might be able to keep up with the first two things and all that, but later on you'll see that you were not able to fulfill the to-do. Although it is good that you achieved one or two, but the real way to approach this is creating systems. Now, you ask, what are systems? Now, you see, systems are basically just like the example I said. There are things you are used to already that when it's time for those things, you don't skip them. Take for example, like you bathe, right? That's something. You brush in the morning, that's something. You use the restroom, that's something. You eat because it's important to you. Now, what you do with your tasks is, first of all, minusing your emotions from any task, any work at hand. Just go emotionless on it. Take for example, you have tasks, this set of tasks. Maybe take for example to build a website, to create. Alright, like I was saying, use systems instead of just using scheduling and to-do list. Now, this does not mean you do not create a to-do list, but instead you do it strategically. Let me explain what I mean. Now, there are tasks that are similar together. Like take for example, in the morning time, you have to bathe, you have to brush, you have to do some morning chores and all that. Now, you do know that those tasks are for the morning, and those are the things you do at that certain time before moving on to your day. Now, the whole trick on this is same application, but now you are applying it to your task. Now, take tasks that are similar together, put them at a certain time of the day. Like if you have 3 different tasks, for example, I'm a developer, you have to build a website, you have to manage a social media account, then you have to also do digital marketing, product hunt, create content, optimize posts and all that SEO stuff and all that. So how do you cope with all this? You see, I just combined tasks that are similar with each other and do them at their specific time. Take for example, the most hardest task among my tasks is the website building, development. So that's the first thing I do in the morning. I know that alright, in the morning, and this is for just website development. It could be another website, but definitely I know for this morning I'm developing website. Then in the afternoon I start researching for contents and all that. I know that okay, I have to do social media posts and all that. So I schedule that, everything relating to social media. That's why I get to read my emails, I get to have conversations and all that. So basically everything that deals with social media, I just do them in the afternoon. Then in the evening time I do the other tasks for digital hustling and all that. So the whole point of this is stacking tasks that are similar with each other at same time. But now you are not multitasking, you won't multitask, but instead when you stack this task, you then break it into micro tasks. Like what I explained the other time. That's when you break them into micro tasks and you actually do these tasks step by step. Now, when you're able to do a task, finish one for like 5 minutes, there is this natural dopamine that just comes and you feel happy about it. That's just it. So when you finish another task, so on and so forth. So the whole trick is just, giving yourself that 5-minute rule. If it takes less than 5 minutes, do it now. This one rule saved me like 10 hours a week. So that's something you need to put in mind. So right here on our chart, we have the triggers. Now, neuroscience hacks that we can actually use to, hack our mind is using the timer and the micro wins, and finally planning, which is flow chart. These are what we can actually use to trigger our brain to do those things. Now, remember I said when it comes to tasks, it's not about how you feel, because there are most tasks you would never feel dopamine doing them. Instead, they are just boring and slow. But those tasks are the important tasks. Those tasks are the ones that actually make the money. Take for example, like lead generation. You want to do cold outreach. You are going to send thousands of emails before you can even land a client. Now, to even top it up, you send thousands of emails, you get some rejected, some won't land. So now those things, if you have emotion to it, basically, if you add emotion to it, basically you can't do them. So you just know that this is the thing to do, this is how I will do it, this is the process, and I will do it. That's it. Just execute. So the key over here is making a 24-hour plan. Starting today, just pick one task. Tomorrow, set it 25 minutes time, then schedule to the task. Now, I want to talk about the identity shift. The identity shift trick. You see, you don't actually build a business. You actually become the type of person who builds a business. That's how it basically works. Every morning, ask yourself, what would this successful entrepreneur do today? That one thing. That real thing. Don't try to fake it. So, I believe in more of working in yourself. Finally, here's the truth. This video won't change your life. You changing your actions will. You executing will. You can watch the best videos out there. You can watch the best philosophy talk, mindset, motivation, whatsoever, mindset hack, and if you still don't go out there to execute, you'll still be stuck. So most times what I tend to always tell people is, whenever you are following a video, a guide, or whatsoever, learn to pause it and take an action, even if it's just researching what the tutor said. Just take an action concerning it. You get? The truth is, your business is not built in a day. It's actually built in the 5 minutes you choose to act instead of scrolling. To be honest, go out there and execute today, and see you in my next video.